this annual day of service where we work with, at this point, the JCC to basically, provide a one-day, put sandwiches in little bags for homeless people kind of thing. And I ended up in a conversation with a woman named Deva. And Deva told me that she was the director of this homeless shelter and that was going great, but they couldn't find sleepover volunteers and they were concerned that they were going to close. And I was like, that's great. I happen to have access to a listserv of every overactive Barnard student, that's around, and these people, were right up the street. It would be so easy to start this network. And lo and behold, it really was that easy. So I just started advertising through my position as an RA to get more people involved, and then it grew and it grew. And now we're at 70 volunteers, I'm really proud to say, after 2 years. Perhaps there's an element of Barnard women identifying a little bit more with women who are homeless, because it's, I don't know, when I think of homelessness, I often think of men. So I definitely think that there's an element of women identifying with other women. Fits really well with the college schedule, and it's also high impact. So as I mentioned before, your sleep enables the shelter's women to have vocational training, a bed, and 2 meals a day. So it really, it's almost nothing for you and everything for them. Deva once used the line, which I love, it's the only good deed that you can do in your sleep.
There was a lights out. I think lights out, I don't remember exactly, but it was around 10 o'clock p.m. And so, it's just sort of a hard bed with one pillow and a sheet, nothing too sophisticated, I guess, and just a lot of these beds in one room. And one thing that I found, I guess, kind of challenging is that, you're in this room, there's women snoring, there's women talking to themselves, there's women sometimes even bickering a little bit. And so I guess I struggled to feeling like, am I safe in here? But as I went to the shelter more and more, I realized, I am safe in here. These women are women that are just trying to get by and want a place to stay overnight. And so that was super inspirational. Come morning, alarm goes off super early, before 6 a.m. You sort of eat some food, and then they have to be out of there by the break of dawn. Students at a women's college, this is an opportunity to go to a women's shelter, be, I guess, an inspiration in their lives, and also be inspired by these women. They want to learn, they want to hear what you're doing with your life, and that is your chance to break out of the Barnard bubble and step out into New York and women that need your help and need you.
I've spent a couple of evenings offering dinner and serving dinner and interacting with the women who spend the night at the shelter. And so I've seen a couple of folk through the years who are still regulars, I guess. And really, every time I walk away from there, I'm enriched by the fact that people have harder lives than I give the world credit for, because sometimes I think my life is so hard. But really, and just the resilience, I guess, of women as a general rule, and how they've had so much troubles and strife, and they still manage to, to be able to deal. Interesting to see people sign up for it and not really initially maybe know the depth of how they would be moved by the project. At the point, the Barnard girls who were volunteering had offered more hours than any other collective in terms of a singular organization offering their time and their energy for it. And I believe that the people who gave of their time really grew in the process as well. And some people I know even started changing majors to having more of a social work, social orientated understanding of their lives first of all, and then also their academics in terms of how they can change policy and stuff like that.
We enjoy the students. Sometimes they come in and they're they don't quite know what to expect, whether we're going to go help homeless people and have a little bit of a conception that it's going to be frail, strange people collecting bottles of bourbon. And then they come and they talk with us after the initial bit of nervousness, and then they find different women here that they relate to. And the students have just been great, and then sometimes they enjoy the study time, because the roommates, the rest of their lives can't get to them here because they've taken a night off to dedicate themselves to helping somebody else. I think it's a great program. It's a great program. It makes such a difference having a varied place in such a large space with so few people in it.
I think that for me, this experience really made homelessness more real. I had never really spoken to homeless people before, and I had never really had the opportunity to consider them anything near to friends. And while I don't know if I've necessarily maintained or made friendships through this process, I definitely think that I've had the opportunity to learn a lot more.
So this is a chance to definitely, like I said, break out of your comfort zone, and I highly, highly encourage it.